This meeting is being transcribed and summarized.
Okay, we ready? Everything set, Mark? Okay, we're going to call to order a Town Lloyd regular meeting for August 20th, 2025. And I'll ask Councilman Frando tonight to lead us through the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How'd I do?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes, you did fine, John.
Thanks, Dave. First thing I did right.
Okay, I'm going to start the meeting off. It wasn't on the agenda, but just so everybody is aware, tomorrow is National Senior Citizens Day, August 21st. And I know that fits some of the people up the table here. I think all but one. But anyway, so I just ask everybody to pause and celebrate National Senior Citizens Day. It was a holiday first proclaimed by Ronald Reagan in 1988. In his words, seniors have achieved much for our families, our communities, and our countries, and deserve a heartfelt salute. And it has been a tradition started in 2012 by Paul Hansett, who was supervisor at the time, is our annual Supervisor Senior Citizens Breakfast. Our 13th year of doing it will be September 12th at the Highland Landing at 9:30. And I think reservations are through September 5th. You have to call by then. So everybody remember tomorrow's Senior Citizens Day.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move forward. We had a public hearing open for local law C that we opened at the July meeting. We heard comments on that, and we decided to withdraw local law C. So I'm going to ask first for a motion to close the public hearing on local law C.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that public hearing is closed. And then what I want to do now is take the resolution at a regular meeting held at Town Hall tonight, August 20th. There's a town board previously opened a public hearing on proposed local law C, a law to amend Chapter 100 zoning attachment use table and definitions, whereas the town board opened the public hearing on July 16th and was continued on August 6th and August 20th, 2025. The town board determines that it wishes to withdraw the local law from consideration, close the public hearing, and withdraw the local law from consideration. Now therefore be it resolved that the public hearing on local law C is closed and proposed local law C of 2025 to amend Chapter 100, use and table definitions of the code is hereby rescinded from the town board's consideration. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so that local laws is rescinded. Later in the agenda, we'll go to local law D. Okay, now we're going to move right into the reports from the town board liaisons, and we'll start with Councilperson Rizzo to do her beautification committee and her Highland School District.
Okay, for beautification, the committee is still out weeding and making sure all the flowers are still doing well. Still getting a lot of comments on how beautiful everything looks. So it's quiet on that end, and we do have our Scarecrow event, which is going to be happening on October 11th this year from 10 to 2. That is rain or shine. We don't have a rain date for that. All necessary supplies are provided. However, you may bring your own if you wish to do so. Always old Halloween costumes always end up turning up really cute for that event. Dave, just to let you know, some people have addressed just during our meeting that there's some concerns with the fountain being relocated. I'm just sending them your way.
Yeah, there's no
just-
decision on it,
yeah.
so.
Just a heads up. So school board, I'm just going to start
It
with.
is mobile, by the way. You
Yes.
take it down, you can put it back up.
Yep, I just
Okay.
throwing it out there. Just some important dates happening for school. First day of school, September 4th. They are finishing up working on all the buildings, so they are ready to be open and running. The middle school orientation will be next week, and curriculum nights are already scheduled, September 8th, 15th, and 17th, September 8th, 9th, and 10th for elementary school. The 15th is middle school, 17th is high school. School taxes are due by September 30th. There is a 2% interest fee for those that come in after that through the month of October. Bus routes are posted on their website for any of those who may need it. Gina Sylvester is the new middle school assistant principal. Dr. Patrick Boyd has moved into assistant superintendent, and Sarah Hathaway, who was previously the assistant principal at the middle school, is now the director of pupil personnel services. As a reminder, too, they are now, as per New York State, adopting the bell-to-bell cell phone policy, so cell phones are going to be banned in the school bell to bell, which is probably a good thing. On the August 5th meeting earlier in the month, they focused a lot on their goals and mission statement and the use of facilities again, which ended up being a lengthy discussion. Not really too sure where we're at with that yet. And then one of the things that I thought was interesting, just because we see it here as well, is they did talk about kind of essentially their disappointment in the lack of public engagement and involvement, just like we saw recently with the crematorium, and they saw there because they would go there, they were here. It's kind of when something is really elevated or heightened in the community that they show up, but they would really like, just as we would like to, for people to come out and participate in those board meetings. They did mention, I make most board meetings. They do appreciate that, and they used the word, where is it that I wrote it down? They feel the interconnection for the first time in a while between the town board and the school board. So even during that time, unfortunately, again, it was a kind of a heightened situation, but board members were coming to our different board meetings and vice versa. So they are trying to figure out a way to kind of really get more community engagement. So, something for us to consider too, different ways on how we can do that. And I think that's it.
Okay,
Sorry.
anybody have questions for Tiffany?
Yeah.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll move on to Councilmember Frano, you have events, fire, ambulance, and lights.
Okay, I'll try to be brief.
Okay, John.
All right.
Sorry, John.
All right. The Events Committee, unfortunately, the fall night out at September 20th, they are not going to be able to do that event. I asked them to come up with an alternate date, so they're looking at it, but they had a few conflicts. So more to come on that. But on that date, September 20th, the PBA at the Pavilion, they are having a fundraising pig roast. So I guess they're starting to advertise that, so you're encouraged to attend that. The next event would be Halloween in the Hamlet, October 25th. And we'll go into the fire district. I attended the fire commissioners meeting. The Station 2 alarm has been changed to a lower decibel siren, and it was reactivated. They are also looking at, they're in the design mode for renovations to the building at Station 2. I requested the flagpole. We got a couple of phone calls, the flagpole in the center of town. The flag's not flying, in case you haven't noticed. And we had the ladder truck go up there, and a couple of firemen looked at it. They can't repair the pulley that's there, but hopefully next week they're going to send a couple of guys up. They have some ideas where they might be able to retrofit a different pulley system. So we are working on it. Hopefully the fire department can make the repair. If not, we might have to have something fabricated. The report for the month of July, excuse me, they had 42 dispatches, 11 firefighters per call. Highest number was 21. Total number of apparatus responses was 90. Firefighter hours for alarms, 392. Firefighter hours for meetings, 56. Hours for training, 136. Hours for miscellaneous events, 92. So we got 676 volunteer hours out of our fire department last month. So moving into the ambulance, very busy month in July. They had 241 calls. Wow. Their run average response time increased a little bit, 7 minutes and 33 seconds, but still under the contract requirements and that we have with the town, the agreement with the town. And again, the reasons for, they had three calls that one was delayed because they had 3 calls within 1 hour. And then they had 2 calls within about 10 minutes. There was one that showed up, it was highlighted, it was delay at the gate to the DFY. They couldn't get security clearance to get the ambulance in. And then there were 2 out at the camp Carlin Stolen, which is probably the furthest part in the town of Lloyd. So those 2 calls were a little excessive. But overall, they're still meeting the requirements, and they're still very busy. And again, we have 22 24-hour ambulances. We're paying for 24 and a 12. They see the need, so throughout the end of the year, they're going to provide 24 for both ambulances. Lighting had a few repairs that had to be made. Central Hudson responded fairly quickly. And, the pavilion, can I throw that in?
Sure.
The pavilion has been busy. Wendy's been renting it. We've had a lot of private events there. Last Friday, we had a concert, and we finally had some good weather. So we had probably 80, 85 people turn out for the concert, so it was well attended. And it was good to see that many of the people were bringing in pizzas, bringing in food from the local establishments. I know after one restaurant that we went to, there were about 6 people came in after the concert. So our effort to bring people and business into the town through the pavilion and its events seemed to be successful.
We're trying to get a date to do one more concert before the cooler weather comes, which is here.
It's here.
Hopefully, we have a little break in this. So more to come. Hopefully, I have two bands right now that we're considering, and we just have to get the dates coordinated. I believe that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Council Member Ahmadi, you've got your couple of items there?
All right. Highland Landing. Somebody has been going down there quite often and locking the bathroom doors from the inside, walking out, closing the door. So then the doors are locked until somebody gets a hold of me or somebody else and go down there and unlock the doors. Hopefully that problem will be rectified in the next 2 weeks. We're going to change the door handles and put a deadbolt lock from the inside, so when they open it up, they're going to have to open it up to get out. So, like I said, hopefully that will be rectified. The Highland Landing sign had been blown down. That's back up, and Richie Rosa had put a back on it and a top to sort of keep it secure. I'm going to try to get a hold of Building and Grounds and see if the guys could have a chance to paint the back of that sign and the piece across the top. Other than that, the geese are down there. I try to chase them out of there every morning, but they keep coming back. So, but other than that, everything is pretty good. A lot of people are using the park. The planning board, the meeting of July 24th, new business, the Buddhist Cultural Center, but they pulled the plans back out, so that's sort of dead in the water at the moment. Larry Feinberg's special use permit for an apartment at 129 Costa was approved, and the public hearing tomorrow is on the 9W Chevy Garage project. And the public hearing is open until then. And in all honesty, that's it as far as the planning board goes for now. Hudson Valley Rail Trail. Last night was the Hudson Valley Rail Trail meeting, and I was the only attendee. So anyway, there was no meeting, but just a few things. In the tunnel where they're doing the murals, there's some lights up in there now that are movement activated. When you walk in, the lights come on. And there's a couple signs that says, congratulations, you're on video camera. So hopefully, nothing will happen to them. I'm ashamed of myself, but I don't know the lady's name that's painting those things. They're absolutely beautiful. I mean, take a walk and look at them. I mean, it's well worth the walk from Tony Williams Field. One other thing about the rail trail. We have a lot of trouble with bikes and shooting through the stop signs by Highland Woods. So Dave comes up with this idea about some metal gates. So we're in the process now of planning them where they can't move them, all right? But we're going to have to make them so we can open them up to do maintenance on the trail or whatever, when they plow snow. So that is in the process as we speak. That was Dave's idea. So we'll get that done.
Well, for those of you familiar with that area, we did put the plastic ones up, and they kept getting moved. And if we were to try to bolt them into the asphalt, it would cause us problems with plowing and everything
Right.
else. So we come up with a system that we think is going to work. We're going to get some people to look at it, get the Rail Association to look at it, and if it works there, we'll do it at commercial also.
So anyway, if anybody has any ideas or wants to help, we're available. But that's about it for me. Thank you all.
Okay, Councilmember Guerrero, Zoning Board.
Okay, the zoning board, August 14th, 2025. New business, applicant is seeking .07 acreage of relief for a minimum acreage required to have a four-family dwelling in the R quarter zone,
What's he want to have, Mike?
4 apartments
Oh, 4 apartments. That's
in
right.
the R quarter,
I got you.
Point 0.07?
.07. He needs.
He needs, right.
He needs.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry. I
He's
didn't hear.
short that much.
Yeah, I just didn't
Oh,
hear
he's
that.
short.
Previous
0.07.
owner there, he started the building without permits, and this other gentleman just bought it. So I guess he's bringing all the proper paperwork and the plans, and they're going to move forward with that. And then there was Christina and Joseph Belinda, they seeked an area variance for a shed to be located in the side yard or the front yard, and they're going to close that at the next meeting. And other than that, that was it on that.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Mike? Okay, thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
I have the Environmental Conservation Committee. We did meet Monday. Couple items are, they did the water chestnut pool on Chattahoochee Lake, and they got more this year than they've had in past years. I'm not sure totally why that is, other than they think the water level might have been lower, and they seem to thrive more in lower water levels, so. But they did a good job. They're all, it's all volunteers, and they cleaned them out pretty well. They also had, at Black Creek, the water quality study, and there was some algae bloom in there, so they've asked people not to actually do recreation activities in there, so that came out of it. The other news out of the ECC is they finally are getting the contract on the 2 grants they have. One is for the Black Creek Water Study, and the other is for the Illinois Mountain Connectivity. Both of them are right around $20,000 grants, so we're almost to contract them. We fixed the administrative problems that we have. I think the one was from 2019 that nobody was able to follow up on, and the other one we just got last year. So we'll move forward with that. The other thing on grants is we did not get the grant for, from the CFA for Berry Ann Park. We put in a grant to try and make Berry Ann Park 100% ADA accessible, and we did not get that one, so.
I just got a call about the handicap accessibility.
Yeah.
And I spoke with Frankie,
Yeah,
and the wheelchair accessibility.
yeah,
But there is a portable commode out there
Yeah.
that can be utilized. It's-
That's handicap accessible, yeah.
Yes.
But what we were looking at, Mike, the plan that we drew up, and I put the grant in myself, and we tried to have paths with railways to the beaches, to the pavilion, to the buildings, and all ADA bathrooms and redo the building, but we didn't get that one, so we'll look for another grant. We'll keep trying until we get one, so. And adaptive playground use. And I know Tiffany was out there yesterday with our other grant writer who does recreation stuff, and they found some new grant opportunities that we might have to piecemeal it together, but that at least is a start, so. I just think we need to do that up there. It's such a nice park, and some people can't get to it, so. But we did not get that one on this try, so. Okay, so that's it for reports. Old business, I know Wendy circulated the park rules. We got a couple comments on it. I didn't see any others. Is there any other comments on the park rules that anybody has?
No?
So if not, what we'll do is next month, we'll have a resolution to adopt them. Okay? We didn't put it on tonight, but because we weren't sure if there's any more input or not, so. Okay, with that, we'll move to privilege of the floor. Anybody here that would like to address the town board? You have to say your name and address, so Wendy records it, please. You got to get up to the microphone, yeah.
Green, it's on.
There you go.
Okay, so my name is Michelle Rossi. I live at 10 Francis Drive, Highland. Okay, so good evening, fellow community members, elected officials, staff members, elected
Yeah,
town
we
board
try,
members.
just, so I probably didn't say it, but we try to be within the 3 to 5 minute time frame
Oh.
if we can, okay, so,
Well, I have a lot,
okay.
so I
Well,
wasn't aware. So, you know
as
what?
you're going forward, if you need more time, well, it depends
Okay.
on what you have.
So can I give these to you? These are
Yes.
for, there's one for each of the board members. That's just information that I refer to in
Okay.
the letter. And at
Thank
the
you.
end are the questions that I'm going to ask it anyway. I put at the end. Please don't take the questions as harsh. They're not harsh. They're just from the heart. And then these are photos that you can look at while I'm.
Okay?
Okay, so my name is Michelle Rossi. I live at 10 Francis Drive, Highland. I own my home at 10 Francis Drive, and I'm a lifelong resident of the town, having been born here while my parents resided on Lockhart Lane. I'm here tonight to speak about the road surface material that was recently applied to Francis Drive, as well as Crimmy Circle, the connected street in the dead-end subdivision located off South Shattucky Lake Road. First, I'll be sharing some information with the board, and then we'll present some questions. Okay. Before I speak about the issue, I want to thank Supervisor Plavchuk and Councilman Akmoody for listening to my concern about the street and coming right out to see it and try to provide me with answers to some of my questions. It's greatly appreciated. I'd like to thank the town of Lloyd Highway Department for coming out right after that to try to make the street more visually appealing. And I want to especially thank the person who operates the street sweeper, who worked until dark, spending hours sweeping up gravel from the street. Francis Drive and Crimmy Circle are local roads in the town about a walkable mile from Highland Hamlet. Francis Drive has had drainage problems since before I purchased my house there. When it rains or snow, water pools right at the top of the hill, to the front left of my house, as well as in other spots at the top of the street. The water does not drain down the hill in the shoulder basins as it should, since the road does not appear to be graded properly. Water also freezes in those same spots in cold temperatures due to the lack of proper grading and creates a slushy, icy mess during the winter. For the past almost 20 years that I know of, and it may have been longer, the road traffic, the harsh winters and weather, including 2 hurricanes and a few tropical storms that resulted in serious flooding on the road, the repeated plowing over damaged areas of the road, and the poor drainage and water accumulation caused damage to the road's asphalt pavement as it aged. Although the asphalt pavement was durable and held up for quite a long time, the road became in need of serious repair and replacement after all those years. On April 30th, 2025, the Town of Lloyd Highway Department published a public notice that the asphalt plants had opened and that the Highway Department would be completing paving projects and that the asphalt paving would begin following the completion of the, quote, prep work, milling and rebates. See Exhibit A in your packet. The notice said that road preparation work would begin on May 1st and May 2nd for the roads listed. On the list were the following roads: Sunnybrook Circle, Phillips Avenue, Commercial Avenue, Francis Drive, Oast Road, and Willow Dock Road. However, in May, Francis Drive was not milled and repaved with asphalt. Instead, a thin layer of asphalt was put at only the opening of Francis Drive as you turned onto it from South Shattucky Lake Road, and all of Crimmy Circle had been given a thin coat of asphalt. That's in one of the photos. The rest of Francis Drive and its deteriorated and damaged asphalt was left untouched. So those are the photos that say damaged road. Also, the other roads listed on the public notice, with the exception of Oast Road, which is also a road off South Shattucky Lake Road, were milled and asphalt paved as the notice stated. And I have the photos of those roads. Thinking that the repaving project planned for Francis Drive was just temporarily delayed, I waited to see if the project would continue later during the summer. On August 9, 2025, I returned from vacation to find Francis Drive, as well as the recently paved Crimmy Circle, covered in loose gravel, with loose gravel signs posted all around the subdivision. Not only couldn't I drive on the road without tons of stones being kicked up and hitting my car in a sea of dust, but the smooth asphalt road in the subdivision that I had purchased my home on now looked like a dirt road leading to a campground or a local fairground, which you could see in the photos, right? He knows what I'm talking about. I went to the town hall and inquired with Supervisor Plavchuk, who immediately came out to look with Councilman Akmoody, and they said they would try to find out the status of the project and get some information, which they went above and beyond, for which I am thankful for, following up with me to get updates on status, etc. I went to the Town of Lloyd Highway Department webpage and saw that another public notice had been posted there stating that, quote, chip sealing had been scheduled to be done on certain roads beginning on August 6, 2025. See Exhibit B in your packet. The roads listed in the notice included Francis Drive and Crimmy Circle. I am not a highway worker, but I do not understand why anyone would, quote, seal a damaged asphalt road, much less a damaged road with unfixed drainage problems. I also do not understand why a town or anyone would use, quote, chip sealing on a road that is not rural, and also a road in a residential subdivision with many driveways on it due to less than half-acre zoning, and a road that did not have chip sealing on it to begin with. I also did not understand why all of a sudden the highway department was even, quote, chip sealing instead of the planned asphalt paving projects that it would have budgeted for. And I've never seen another road in the town with that kind of surface. So, 2 roads were changed from the original public notice of planned asphalt paving projects to just chip seal. Also, an additional road, Crimmy Circle, that directly connects to Francis Drive and Oast Road was now on the new notice for chip sealing, as well as another road. On top of that, South Chattahoochee Lake Road that directly connects to Francis Drive and Oast Road that wasn't on either of the public notices for any type of resurfacing was now chip sealed from beginning to end, just like Francis Drive. All of this leads me to my first 4 questions, which are, number 1, why did South Chattahoochee Lake Road, which was asphalt paved about 2 to 3 years ago, get chip sealed along with Francis Drive, Crimmy Circle, and Oast Road, all connected to South Chattahoochee Lake? And why wasn't Francis Drive repaired and asphalt paved as the original notice said it would be? Number 2, why was my street, Francis Drive, not repaved, resurfaced with the same asphalt material, or an improved asphalt material, that the street had always had on it? The original asphalt paving that was used for this subdivision, based on the zoning, traffic use, weather conditions, drainage, and aesthetically pleasing properties as per the engineer who signed off on the plans for the road construction. Number 3, why would any street in this town with taxpayers living on it be repaired or replaced with, at the very least, the exact same quality material, or if possible upgraded to an even higher quality material in order to maintain property values, minimize maintenance and repair, and improve the visual appeal of the town as a whole? Number 4, where did this idea of chip sealing come from all of a sudden in August when was it adopted by the town as an approved road surface? And when were those budgeted asphalt paving projects with a voted on cost arbitrarily changed to receive lower cost, lower quality road surfacing materials? The property owners of Francis Drive, including myself, invested in property, in real estate, in a residential subdivision on a street paved with smooth asphalt material that was already designated as the road material for this subdivision. We did not buy houses on the outskirts of the town on a rural gravel or dirt road. I bought a house on an asphalt paved road that would be plowed clean and would allow me to get to work in all kinds of weather. I bought a house in a densely populated dead-end subdivision with asphalt paved street because I wanted my children, their friends in the neighborhood, and myself to be able to ride bikes, skateboard, etc. on the road and the rail trail that is right down the road, which is paved with asphalt. This residential subdivision is densely populated with higher traffic volume due to its less than half-acre zoning and legal mother-daughter residences. There are about 20 houses with 3 to 4 cars each. The residents on the street who work remotely from home and receive multiple deliveries each day from FedEx, UPS, Amazon, Instacart, Uber Eats, as well as the daily deliveries from the post office and a full-size school bus that drops off at multiple stops in the subdivision twice a day. It is a residential neighborhood in a subdivision, and not a less traveled, long rural road with few residences. For years, the taxes paid by myself and my neighbors financially contributed towards the paving and proper maintenance of roads throughout the town, including all the other roads in Highland that were repaved with asphalt. I have pride in my home and have spent tens of thousands of dollars upkeeping and maintaining it, just as my neighbors and many other residents of Highland have done, in order for my home to not only be a place of pride, but also to ensure that my investment appreciates in value. The residents of Francis Drive bought property on an asphalt paved road. Asphalt has value. It also has the ability to withstand a certain amount of traffic on the street without getting damaged for a certain period of time, the ability to withstand the abuse from outside elements and harsh weather for a certain amount of time, the ability to drain water and keep the road surface from being damaged. Also, cars do not get damaged from rocks and gravel kicking up on asphalt paved roads. And a smooth asphalt paved road is clean, aesthetically pleasing, and adds curb appeal, contributing to the value of the property. That is why it has value, and that is why it costs more. That is the material value that was on the road, Francis Drive, when we purchased our homes, and should be the material that is always used on the road, which leads me to my next questions. Number 5, who decided to change the smooth asphalt road of Francis Drive, which has a value, to a cheaper, lower quality gravel road, thus devaluing the properties of the taxpayers on the street? Number 6, why did only some roads in Highland get their road surface changed from smooth, higher quality asphalt paving to lower quality, dirty, loose gravel chip sealing? And how is it determined which taxpayers' roads would get changed? Number 7, who is the engineer who signed off on the paperwork after doing a study which determined that Francis Drive, which was originally asphalt paved, based on the zoning, traffic use, weather conditions, drainage, and aesthetic properties for a road in a local subdivision, could now be covered in rough gravel chip sealer, an inferior material that would not be as durable or long-lasting under those same conditions, would also require more maintenance, and would not be as aesthetically appealing as the original road, thus devaluing the properties in the subdivision. Number 8, did the conversation go, quote, who has houses that we can devalue that wouldn't say anything? Who in the town can we give this inferior material to? Whose roads do we not care about and can make them look like campground roads or dirt roads? Number 9, who is proud that they did this? And who is proud that roads in our town that are not rural roads now look like this? That brings me to my next point about chip sealing and rural roads. I provided literature about asphalt and chip sealing, which includes comparisons between the two. See Exhibits 3 through F. How chip sealing is inferior to asphalt for durability, longevity. Surfaces that come in contact with water are not be cost-effective nor an aesthetic choice on local subdivision roads. Francis Drive is a local subdivision road, not a private road, nor a park or campground road. Cases in which it would be appropriate, use chip sealing as a road surface, as in the case of a rural road that has a proper thick base of crushed stone or an asphalt pavement in good condition to start with. Francis Drive is not a rural road, nor does it have any type of good base underneath that gravel.
Okay, Michelle, so I think we
You got
understand the
it?
issue.
Okay.
We're going to have the town board, I'm going to ask them if they have any questions for you first.
But I like to say you came to the right place.
Yeah.
Because this town board allocates dollars for roads to be paved. So-
That's what I said. That was a planned project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not enough money to pave all these roads. What was done, as far as I know, it was to preserve the road for another 5 years. So it prevented from more potholes and breakage of the blacktop. But
You could see in the pictures that, why would you preserve that road? It wasn't,
because
it's
if you're
damaged.
going to repave it costs thousands of dollars. I don't know,
That road hasn't been paved in over 20 years. It was time for that road to be repaved. Instead, they sealed, you saw the pictures, the broken, damaged
I
road.
think-
We have 66 miles of road in this town, and you talk about blacktopping, and when Richie has enough money to move on with actual blacktopping, he does what he can work with. But as far as money, you've got to come to the town board. Town board's got to allocate money to the highway department so he could buy the blacktop.
I think the question,
But
though,
then the money was allocated
Yeah.
because that was a planned project.
I think the question was, what changed since the money was allocated to asphalt all these roads, which was announced in May, until August? And I think what we'll hear, I'm not going to pre-answer it, because I know Lenny and I went out and spoke to Richie, and you sent people out to look at it the other day. I think what we're going to find out is, in the middle of the season, the price of the asphalt went higher, and he couldn't do all the asphalt. That's what I think we're going to hear, but you're going to have to let us go through this stuff, because you gave us a lot of material here, okay? And you're going to have to let us go talk to Richie again, and maybe, Mike, we can have some discussions
Yeah,
to make sure we
absolutely,
understand it.
I mean,
Because I understand her concern, but
I agree. I think that's probably what happened, because the price increase of the asphalt from what, and Richie has said this, from what they anticipated it would be, the increase was significantly more. Again,
Then I'm going to ask you this question. Then why in May was Crimmy Circle paved? It was not on that original notice,
We're going to have to go back and.
right? And then why after was all of South Chattagee Lake chip sealed when my road was chip sealed, when that wasn't on either notice? So it doesn't seem like there wasn't money. It seems like money that would have been used for paving Francis Drive was then changed so they could chip seal all of South Chattagee Lake. Two.
We don't have.
'Cause it wasn't on the
we're gonna have to go
original.
talk- We're going to have to go talk to Richie and find out the answers.
I do have one question.
Go ahead.
Did they come and fix the shoulder?
No, I gave you all the pictures. Those pictures are from yesterday and the day before yesterday. You can see everything coming back up to the surface.
So that one section's still not fixed?
Right.
Okay.
How many roads did he do? He did about 5 roads, I understand.
Yeah, well, we know he did
And
those two
they
in
do
South
share
Chattagee.
services with other towns, so. I thought he did a nice job. I saw, matter of fact, I went out with him the other day. After it was all done, they picked up all the loose stone.
I don't know, you have the picture, so you could take that picture of Sunnybrook Circle and
I think
compare
they're
it to Francis Drive.
Yeah,
And
there's a-
which one would you want your house on?
There's a piece about that wide that was missed right in front of the driveway.
5 roads, there's a piece that way. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think, I think we got to go
I'm
talk
sure
to
it'll
him,
be
and we
repaired.
should talk
I
to him
don't
and
see any
find out what's
problem.
going on with it.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see any problem.
I mean, I'm sure everybody has a different thought, but we went out and tried to get, and they did come out and help fix some of it and sweep some of it, so that was the initial reaction. But we'll go get some of your answers for you and get back to you.
Right.
Okay.
The biggest question, what's changed? That's what you want.
That's what you want to know, really, right? What changed from
Right, that
the
was a
original plan?
planned project, which means it was already budgeted for. And then roads changed and materials changed. That was already a planned project. So even if price went up, why did that road get taken? It's the smallest road.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
Understand.
All right, so we'll
You gotta get some
we'll have
answers.
some follow-up discussions, so thank you for bringing it
Thank you,
forward.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else for privilege of floor tonight, or? Hi, Kim.
So Kim Bodendorf, I live at 10 Woodside Place, and I just wanted to come out and thank everybody for listening to the town's people. I know it was a contentious, and you listened to everybody, and even though they went off topic and whatever, and every board, I just wanted to say thank you for listening and actually letting the process play out. I know there was some impatience and felt or whatever, but I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else there? If not, we'll move forward to motions and resolutions.
I have one thing
Oh,
to
go
say.
ahead, Mike.
I got one thing to say. I got a phone call about Mountainside Woods, about water being directed off of the Mountainside Wood property onto an adjoining property.
Okay.
It's actually being directed. I spoke with Dave Barton. I went out there and, you know, I know they spent a lot of money there with a whole retaining pond, and water's all supposed to, whatever comes off the roof, whatever comes off the blacktop, it's supposed to be retained
Supposed to go in the
on the
retaining pond,
property.
correct?
So when you go out there, you guys are gonna probably have to go out and take a look unless Dave, he has to say. All the water's being sent to the back of the house. Instead of-
What street is
What's
that
the-
on, Mike?
Yeah.
It's the end, the west end, the cul-de-sac,
Yeah,
the last houses, there's 3
You
big
have the address,
houses.
do you?
Excuse me?
You have the address or not?
I think it's 104,
Okay,
105.
that'd be Vista. then.
106. And all the gutters, the gutters are being pointed towards the back of the house. There's a creek there, and the sill fence is gone, and water's going into the creek, and water's going onto John and Delgado's property. And I saw where they dug a ditch, and they ran a solid pipe, no perforated pipe, a solid pipe, from the back of the house gutter, moved it out about 30 feet, nice ditch, right? Covered it up, left the end exposed, and when I went back, like 4 days, 5 days later, they continued the ditch, all right, and
So when you talked to Dave, what did he tell you? Was it built to design or not?
well,
I mean, that's the question.
well, that's why they built the holding pond, because
Right,
those
so that-
houses
that
are
was my
so
question,
close,
Mike. So
those close.
I got it. I understand exactly how it should work.
Okay.
So was it built, did Dave tell you it was built to design or it was
Well,
not?
Dave hasn't been out there
Okay,
yet. Dave
okay.
hasn't been out there yet.
Okay, I
But,
got it.
but as far as I've been, it's supposed to be sent out the other way. They have a storm.
Yeah, yeah, so the
storm
question is,
system.
why is it not working, right? So that's why he and probably Richie have to go look at it, because they have drainage.
I know.
Tomorrow would be a good time.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a real good time. We got enough rain tonight to test it, right?
But you could see it, he's got pictures and,
Well, like everything, I'll definitely go out and look at
but
it
I
myself.
spoke to Dave Barton and Anthony's going out there right now.
Okay.
And I just
That's the
want,
right, I mean, they're the right people to look at it.
that's right. They're the first people. to look at it.
Okay.
Richie has nothing to do with it because Richie's a road guy,
Well, yeah, but drainage, the drainage also, yeah.
There's the plans, I think maybe the plans have been altered too.
Dave and Anthony are the right people to take the first look at it.
Yeah.
So, that's fine, and they'll pull in whoever they need. They might have to pull in Andy Lerner or somebody from CPL to say, does this match what these guys committed to build or not, right? Sometimes they'll do that.
I know, they always talked about calculating whatever comes
Yep.
off the roof, whatever comes off the blacktop, had to be retained on those properties.
Yeah, so
because-
that's why I'm asking, we have to find out if it's built to design or not. If it's not built to design, then the developer has to change it. If it's built to design,
And it
then the
doesn't-
design was wrong and something else has to be
Be
done.
changed.
So we could sit here and talk about it all we want, but
No,
we
you
have to
keep
find that
asking
out.
me the question, so I
I know, but we have to
Sorry.
find that out. So
Sorry.
you went to the right people, and you made us aware, so that's great.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, motions and resolutions. A, resolution to authorize payment of vouchers as audited by the audit committee.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Okay, resolution B, and I'll read the resolution, and the local law is embedded in here, so I won't read that, it's already in here. So the resolution is whereas a local law being proposed as Local Law D 2025, a local law amending the Town of Lloyd zoning code, section 108, to define and prohibit crematories and crematoriums throughout the town to promote the public health, welfare, and safety within the town of Lloyd. Whereas the town board is determined that this is an unlisted action under New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, and Part 1 of its full environmental assessment form has been prepared on behalf of the town board. And there are no other agencies pursuant to SEQR. The town board intends to act as lead agency and do all necessary reviews. Town board desires to hold a public hearing with respect to the adoption of the aforesaid local law. Now therefore be it resolved, the public hearing will be held by the town board with respect to the adoption of the aforesaid local law at the town hall on the 17th of September 2025 at 7:00 p.m. It's further resolved that town clerk is directed to publish and post a notice of the said public hearing in accordance with the law. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so we'll have that public hearing next month, and the local law is embedded in the text. Okay, move forward to Resolution C. And let me just explain this a minute. This is, anytime you put in a grant, you have to show that you're gonna, that you have intentions of doing the work, and if there's a match, you're gonna pay for the match. So we did this, every year we've put in the CFA grants for the EFC for the water plant. So I think we all know that our water plant, we want to upgrade. We had all the engineering work done, it's been updated. So what we have to do is do this bond to turn in with the CFA application, which we're writing, and the application's due on September 12th. So we'll meet that deadline and get it in. So Resolution C is the order calling for a public hearing to be held on September 3rd, 2025. Whereas the town board of the town of Lloyd in the county of Ulster, on behalf of the Highland Water District, has caused Brittany Hilarious, PC, Kingston Engineers, duly licensed by the state of New York, to prepare a map plan and report dated March 2023, together with an updated cost estimate, which report is on file in the office of the town clerk, for increase and improvement of facilities of the district, consisting of various improvements and upgrades to the water filtration plant of the district, and any and all necessary furnishings, equipment, machinery, apparatus, installations, appurtenances, accessories, and related engineering and other costs in connection with the foregoing as further described in the report. The estimated maximum cost of, including preliminary and incidental, of $5,639,000. And whereas the town of Lloyd expects that all or part of the cost of the project may be financed through the State of New York Environmental Facilities Corporation pursuant to the WIAA and any other source of funding. Any such grant or other funds are hereby authorized to be applied toward the cost of said project, redemption of the town bond notes issued. Therefore, it will be budgeted as an offset to the taxes to be collected for the payment of the principal and interest on the bonds. Whereas the town board, acting as lead agency, has given due consideration to the impact of the project, described and has determined such projects constitute type 2 actions pursuant to seeker, constituting Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law, Regulations Part 617.5, and no further environmental review is required. Therefore, it be ordered the public hearing of the town board of the town be held at Town Hall, 12 Church Street, on September 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m.
That should say 4 p.m.
4 p.m. That's a workshop, yeah, so that'll be 4 p.m. To consider said increase in improvements of facilities of the district and to hear all persons interested in the subject concerning the same and for such other action on part of the town board with relation that may be required by law. Further order that the town clerk publish at least once in the Kingston Daily Freeman, hereby designated an official newspaper of the town, for such publication to post on the signboard of the town under subdivision 6, section 30 of the town law. A notice of such public hearing substantially in the form hereto is Exhibit A. The first publication thereof said posting not to be less than 10 days or more than 20 days before the date. And then you can see the notice of the public hearing is embedded in here. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, take a roll call, Wendy, please.
Yes?
Plavchek.
Yes.
Moody.
Yes.
Guerrero. Rizzo.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. And as always, if we don't get the grant, we would rescind the bond. Okay, Resolution C. This is a resolution authorizes the supervisor to sign a memorandum of understanding for EMS stabilization enhancement plan developed by Ulster County Department of Emergency Services at the direction of County Executive Jen Metzger to ensure high-quality EMS delivery for all county residents. This MOU includes funding to the town of Lloyd in the amount of $132,557.37 to support and enhance the provisions of emergency medical services. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, Wendy, roll call, please.
Farina.
Yes?
Plavchek.
Yes.
Moody.
Yes.
Guerrero. Rizzo.
Okay, motion carried. That should help us this year. Resolution D is to approve the installation of a new streetlight by Central Hudson at 82 North Road.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Resolution E to accept, to accept the resignation of Nancy Hammond from the Environmental Conservation Committee. Can I-
With a heavy heart. Motion.
Second discussion, just like to say something.
Yeah.
Nancy had done 20 years as a councilwoman, and I probably just as long on the ECC. You know, she's contributed a lot to the town. We're going to miss her.
Yeah.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
Well, she even filled in for supervisor when Bob Hanson
That's
died.
right, that's right.
Yeah, very good. She has, so we'll miss her. So
Yes.
there'll be an
Public
opening on the
service.
ECC for next year. Okay, and Resolution F, this is the one we talked about, I think, at the workshop, is to post for a part-time parking enforcement officer at $20 per hour, 20 hours per week to monitor Haviland Road and Haviland Road parking lot enforcement and administrative duties. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Got a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, Resolution G. Whereas the Highland Rotary Club will be hosting the Rotary President's Picnic at Highland Landing Park on August 27, 2025. The Highland Rotary will provide liability insurance for location for the event for the day. Highland Rotary Club has requested permission from the town board to serve beer at said event in a designated area, and the town board is desirous of granting said permission to the Highland Rotary Club. Now therefore it's resolved as follows: the Highland Rotary Club is hereby granted special permission to serve beer at Highland Landing Park, Ark Moody Pavilion on Wednesday, September 27th. It's August 27th. August 27th, yeah, 2025, and be it further resolved, the special permission is contingent upon the Highland Rotary Club giving us a copy of their liability insurance, which I believe they did.
Which we received
Yeah,
today.
we received today. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carried. And motion H, to respond to the notice to municipality for a new cannabis dispensary to be located at 3565 Route 9W with a letter of support for a proposed dispensary on the property. The letter will not imply any approvals related to the special use permit or site plan, which must be pursued before the Town of Lloyd Planning Board. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Okay, got it, Mike?
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, anything else the board has tonight to discuss?
No, I will be getting some estimates. We have, because of the popularity of the pavilion, we see a need for it. It probably in the colder months. So we're going to enclose the plumbing to keep the bathrooms functioning during the winter. So I'm going to get some costs to just frame it in over the plumbing on both sides. And I'll communicate with you guys once I get some cost estimates.
All right.
Probably a couple of $1,000, I think, that's all.
Okay, anything else? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
thank you for coming
Thank
in,
you all.
folks.
Thank everybody for coming.
Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Was, you did your homework?
He did. He did. Yeah. So all these have to be changed.
Oh, my God.
Right, back out in the rain.